If my calculations are correct, when I hit this switch, there should be 1.21 gigawatts of power going to this pump. It ran for a second, didn't it? You see that gray? There's more and more and more and more of them. And every time something stressful happens, like this flooding and my house falling apart, there's like 3 more. I can see it. I think people say not to pull them. Oh, you pull it, you'll get 3 more. And this guy's not entertained by me. You know, I was just getting ready to brag on my local dollar store because they've always shouted, "Hello, how are you?" whenever you come in. Not this time. Guess they were busy. I needed it today too. You know how some of those days you need it more than other days? I got a list. It's not that big. All right, we'll figure it out. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Peachy. How about you?
All right. Feel like sarcasm there. All right. Yeah, I think a lot of people in town are having the best time ever. But, and I didn't even shower today. I'm a wreck. But I feel like it doesn't even make sense to shower before trying to. I'm probably just gonna have to move all my son's furniture and rip the carpet up, is my guess. But I'm gonna try getting more baking soda. And man, I remember when I was a kid in that foster home, that's what I was just telling my wife. They used to always, and you'd get in trouble if you didn't do this, if you skipped this step, but they had this powder that you pour on the carpet before you vacuum. Which I was one of those kids, right? That I was like, it's stupid. You're just pouring it down and vacuuming it back up. And really, it probably just sucks the powder and blows it through the blower and the vacuum and makes your house smell better and just tricks people. There's somebody sitting down in the Bahamas right now swimming with them pigs, smoking a cigar, going, this dumbass has bought that powder. I don't know, man. That's just how my mind works. But just try not to be depressed, because I gotta somehow get my pool pump running today. I gotta somehow dry out the basement or pull the carpet. I gotta go back to work tomorrow. I gotta find the first thing on this list. I can't find anything. Some Fabuloso carpet powder. I put carpet powder, baby. I probably shouldn't have showed that because I think I spelled Fabuloso wrong, but I'm gonna have to ask for. You remember there was like a powder that you could pour on carpet, vac it back up. Do you guys have that here?
Yeah.
I can't.
Arm and Hammer?
Yeah.
Unless we're completely out of it. If you go in the card aisle there, the very last aisle down, left-hand side, I think it's on the top shelf.
Card aisle.
Yeah.
That's where I was messing. Why wouldn't it be with the cards, right? All right, thank you. I feel like I better quit messing with her. She really doesn't seem like she's carpet powder, baby. Mold powder, baby. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, I guess. So is it dumb for me to just get baking soda and this? Or, because I need a baking soda to do the work, but I need something to smell kind of good. Maybe we should hit them with the Island Mist. Smells like a shitty rental apartment. That's got that slumlord scent. Slumlord scent. SLS. I don't know. I think what sucks, and this always seems to happen, at least to me anyway, or maybe I'm just overanalyzing and thinking too much, but it always seems to be at the tail end of whatever kind of good time, doing the, you know, whatever, the cabin thing and renting side by side, just had a good time. And you don't, it's so hard because you don't want to be like, oh man, you know, we let go of several $100s to do that. You don't even want to do, right? You just want to have a good time, and you earned it. Like, that's the first. I only took 4 days off. I've got a full 2 weeks, 10 days, 10 weekdays of vacation that I'm allowed to take for myself. And I didn't even take the full 5 for the first, like I worked Monday and then just took Tuesday through Friday. And that's the first days off. That's the first 4 days I've had off in the year 2024. But, you know, you go and do that and you have fun. We did have a great time and I'm glad we did it. I'm not regretting it, but it's always stuff like this that you get home and you think, you know what? That several $100s could have fixed our pool pump, and we're gonna have to buy carpet and whatever else that's ruined in his basement, and maybe rent some of those big fans or those dehumidifier machines or whatever. We're gonna have to do something. And it's hard not to feel guilty. It's hard not to feel like you made the wrong choice. And it's like, well, if I hadn't have went, we would be in way better financial shape to figure this situation out that just hit us, you know. So I don't know if you guys think that same way too, but that's just how I am. Every time I do any little thing for myself, that's the reason I always wear shoes until they fall apart and that sort of thing. I don't go out and splurge on nothing for myself, because when I do, I can't help but think about it, of how else I could have used those funds for my family or for my home and for my kids. And I don't know, I kind of feel bad right now because we don't have the money to fix everything that's happened, but we will figure it. It could be a lot worse, guys. People are throwing their whole lives away. Let me turn this camera around. Yeah, man, there's dumpsters everywhere, and literally, like, look at these vehicles, man. They're just wrecked. That one's still up on the curb because it floated up there. Look at that dumpster right there. That's their whole house inside that dumpster. Like, their child's bed. Ugh. I told my wife that last night when I laid him down. I was like, I couldn't imagine his blankets and bed and everything soaked and ruined, which it came really close to it. It was so close to our house, man. I mean, that's probably why our basement's so wrecked, because it did get there. There was a lot of water down there. But anyway, I'm trying not to make this day like that. I am going to get in here and try to start drying some of this up and try to turn this day around to be positive. I tell you what, my wallet got wrecked too, and I managed to save, because I stopped and got this picture out. I think this is one of the best pictures of me and my wife. Let me see if I can show it. I love that picture. It was Christmas when we were down at her mom's house, like 3 or 4 years ago, I think. And honestly, if you're looking for the bright side of something, that made me pull it out and put it on the dash. So there's your bright side to that. Everything else in my wallet, wrecked. Wow. That is actually hard work. On your hands and knees, shot back and trying to get every little crumb of baking soda up. Got to get it done, man. I sent him over to stay with a friend for now until we can try to get his room together, because he don't deserve to have to be in the middle of this while we're trying to figure it out. I mean, I know it's not the best lighting to see it, but I am pouring a sweat. You know, I couldn't help but think, you always see people who are a little better off financially. They always seem to look younger, less gray, they've aged well. And it's because of stuff like this, right? That if you have the money to just say, just replace it. Just bring the company in, tell them what happened, and have them pull the carpet and put new carpet down. Those people live a lot longer, right? So the alternative is, you come down here on your hands and knees, scrub for a few hours with a shot back and baking soda and a little carpet powder, baby. You shave 5 years off your life. It's that simple. There has to be a layer of just baking soda at the bottom. Well, the carpet was awful dirty, apparently. But also, we laid a bunch of baking soda and that other stuff down, and then been walking through it and tracking through it and everything, so maybe that's part of it, right? Oh, okay. Huh. just hid you up there with the peeled garlic. Just trying to channel my inner Casey Neistat. Getting a little bit better mood. I gotta get back in vlog mode. I gotta get my head right and not just stressing about all the crazy things that's going on. All the money I gotta spend at the house. I mean, just hit the upload button on the vlog for today, and I know there's gonna be people criticize, oh, it's Cash App's in the description. Yeah, well, turns out I'll take whatever I can get to try to replace the furniture that soaked up the water from the ground up, and all the carpet, everything that's gonna be. And my son likes to leave clothes really low, so we haven't even really figured out that. And I know the pool pump's not super necessary. It's not like I go, well, hey, help me buy a pool pump so I can swim too late in the year when it's too cold anyway. But I do need to replace that so that I can get the water drained if, heaven forbid, it gets that high again. But currently, I mean, talk about money and needing it. I'm at the grocery store to get son of a biscuit. I left the list in the truck. Dang it, man. Dang it. Let's go get it. Does your grocery stores have that like that? If you go anywhere near it, some alarm goes off, and then the brakes lock up on this car. It's a legit like bait car, like those old cop shows back in the day. And they're like, you know, I dare you to go out that door with that cart, which you can go out the other door. I guess I just don't understand the concept behind it, but look at this damn list. My wife is always like, it takes you so much longer to do anything, and this is why. I mean, I'm in here around hiding my phone behind garlic. Meanwhile, I don't even have the list to get started with, so bear with. Well, would you looky there. All right, now we got it. Oh, look. My son made a $10 bill on the back of the list. So he's trying to help out the cause too. He's a sweetheart. He doesn't talk, you know, he's nonverbal, which I know I've shared before. But he says a lot without saying anything, if that makes any sense. Anybody out there that have kids that's nonverbal, you'll get exactly what I'm talking about. You completely understand them. It really doesn't help. And the therapist said as much to us, was like, well, the fact that you guys can not read his mind, but you guys can see the cues and know what it is he's wanting and just do it, gives him no reason to try to talk. Just almost fell out of the cart. I gotta focus. I got the first item on the list, so I'm actually, this thing's moving along, and I'm filming vertically. I'm doing great, I'm telling you. I think it's kind of cool, like I just mentioned a minute ago, that I just uploaded today's video. It was like 10 till 4 right here in the grocery store, and I think that's pretty cool. Doing these daily vlogs I want to try to do that more. I want to try to be in the middle of recording when I upload current days, because if everybody hasn't caught on yet, I'm actually a day behind. So, and I had to do that. I started off doing the same day, and it was impossible. I mean, I was up till, you guys seen it, there was a few nights, it was like 11:59. Who is mad enough in their mind to do that, right? Especially I'm going all the way to Michigan on a business trip, and I'm relying on whatever footage I get on the way there, and then checking into the motel, going to the reception dinner and all that, and then coming back to the room, editing, and then uploading. And I'm like, yeah, I can do it. I got this. And that was the reason I did that little critique video, which a lot of you guys keen-eyed noticed that it's not there anymore for everybody. I just unlisted it so that the people who got the link to it, if you guys want to watch it, cool. If not, I don't want anybody new stumbling along to see that. That's not what I wanted to do. I mean, it's fun, and like I say, I could make a lot. I could pay a truck off 3 times as quick being that a-hole critiquing people, but I don't want to do it anymore. I want to show you guys my life and my family. And I got to get this grocery list done or I'm going to be in trouble. Gotta say, I'm legit proud of myself. I got every single thing on this list. Added it up in my head, and I want to say it's like right at $126 is my guess. And I'll show you guys if I'm right on there. And see if you can figure out by that list what she plans on making. Comment it down below. If you get it right, I'll pin it. But obviously, there's gonna be a lot of people get it right. It's pretty obvious, but good little meal, good something I can take leftovers for work tomorrow and try to really do that. Try to really pack a lunch like I was talking about the other day. You know, I was only off by like $6. That's not bad. If I was one of those phony baloney YouTubers, I could have just snatched up a Snickers bar that's right above, you know, those last minute items they put right there by the checkout. Try to get you. I'm sure they're about $6 now, if not more. And I could have been like, look at that, dude. Look how good I am at math. I'll tell you what, too. I wonder how much I could save if I just cut out remote starting this thing. Such a habit, though. You know, like, there's well-off people that every car they had their entire life had remote start, and they forget that it's even there. My wife was like that. Her Kia, I was like, do you ever even remote start this thing? She was like, nah, I just kind of forget that it's there. People like me, dude, we're doing it every time. If you came up like me, shit, taking advantage of it. If my calculations are correct, when I hit this switch, there should be 1.21 gigawatts of power going to this pump. It ran for a second, didn't it? So here's the thing. So in efforts to try to save money, because I searched the cheapest pump I could find for this setup. This is a Hayward pump. Is $700 that I don't have. And like I said, I think the starter was what was, look how rusted out the thing is. Why wouldn't it be causing problems? So I thought, well, I can have one less starter on my air compressor. All right, am I right? And I really thought that would work. Let me reset the breaker and try it again. Thought old Handyman Frank was really in business. I was so proud of myself. I was like, I'm gonna show these guys a cool video of me actually fixing something. I don't get it. It only runs for a minute and then quits. Huh. If I'm being honest, it's kind of sitting in that it may, in fact, have actually been the pump all along, and I'm probably burning up this new starter by trying to get it to work. That's the longest it's ever ran. Let's turn on some lights out here. What have we got? Did Handyman Mother the Frank actually fix something? No. Not sure how well that translated on camera. And especially, and I'll go ahead and address it because I don't think anybody else has. Apparently, I got my phone wet on the trails, and it's had this weird, like, hissing, whistling sound going on. And I appreciate, you guys are troopers for not saying anything. Nobody said anything. Like, I was editing, I was like, what is that? No, it sounds like interference or something. So, yeah, that didn't sound good. Sometimes you just gotta face it. And if you guys are looking for relatable content, there's gotta be a million of you guys out there like me that's like, no, we can fix it. We got $700. That has to be what it is, and I just need to accept it. Let's give it one more time for the one time. It's about to catch prime. And not that Jake Paul, Logan Paul prime. I'm talking real pump prime. It does good until it does it. Huh. Let me find out that one time for the one time, that last Hail Mary. Ooh, I don't know though. I think once it catches prime, it's going to be even harder on that pump, right? We got bubbles, bro. Dang, son. It's amazing the pressure that pump puts out, though. God, go. Okay. Well, I guess the pump is working. Speaking of pumps, I need to put that up. A big rust stain on the concrete. See? You'll never get those out either. Listen, the dude in the comments that was like, dude, take a 5-gallon bucket, drill holes in it, big holes, set that down in the bucket, and then put the bucket in the pool. I commented back to you too, because I was like, dude, sometimes it's the simplest thing that just blows your mind. You're like, whoa, dude. Because there's a lot of things that I know how to do and I'm pretty smart at, but it's that simple stuff sometimes that you don't think of. But, yo. And for the ones that are wondering, like, why do you care so much to... Let's just say this real quick, because this is bothering me a lot, because it's been in the background of a few videos. So, you guys notice the terrible fencing at the Gotcha Man compound. All the way up. So, it'd be one thing if my fence all looked like this, and you're like, Gotcha Man, what are you even doing about it? And I'm like, nothing. It all looks like it. But no. So, I started right here at my shed and started putting this vinyl fencing up, section by section. However, so this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections we spent about $1,300 on. 13 or 14. So you imagine there's going to be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. You get the point. So that's why we are where we are on that. So back to what I was saying. The reason that I want this pool to be treated and usable further into the season than usual is me and the boys want to start doing things out here, like little weird pool challenges. And, you know, like I said that one day, like get in it when it's too cold and that fun stuff like that. And like get those mats that you stand up on, but have to do those like American Ninja Warrior battles, and whoever falls in, it's gonna suck even worse because it's cold, right? Like that's the kind of the thing. You know, get RC boats, just stuff like that, man. I want to have more fun with my boys, man. And you guys have allowed me to do that just by watching, just by engaging, and just by giving me the inspiration to be like, well, if I come up with this idea and do it with the boys, you guys will not only watch it but like it and enjoy it, and it's full circle, right? So yeah, that's the plan, and that's the reason I bought some chemicals before we went to the cabin, and I treated it, and you see how fast it turns. It turns blue and starts clearing up. You just got to stay on top of it. It's the only thing. A lot of people out there are like, pools are hard and they're not worth it. It's not that hard, dude. But anyway, I'm probably going to round it off here, but who thinks... I'm going to go in here and get a chlorine tablet. Who thinks as soon as I drop that chlorine tablet in the skimmer bucket that pump's going to quit? It's still running. Gotcha Man actually fixed something. If somebody asks you guys, why do you watch that dude? Say, well, he fixes stuff. He fixed his own pool pump with his bare hands. He doesn't have an air compressor anymore, but don't tell him that. You don't have to tell him that. Let him subscribe and watch and find out on their own. All right. My pool's a drug addict, and I'm going to give it this big old Percocet real quick. And in the meantime, you guys out there, hug on and love on and kiss your loved ones and tell them how much you appreciate them, and encourage them to watch another one of my videos and hit that like button, subscribe, maybe leave a comment, because it all counts, and it helps us all rebuild our homes and pay that truck off, baby. Woo!